What's happening, everyone? TomGorian here. Welcome back to episode number 7 of the F125 TomGorian to Glory My Team Career Mode. Today we return from the epic Monaco Grand Prix where we took our first official victory of our career mode journey, and now we're entering another circuit where I think we're going to do well. Circuit de Montreal in Canada for the Canadian Grand Prix. We've just been there in real life, and today we are here once again for My Team Career Mode. Make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for more F125 My Team Career Mode content as we officially lap the real life Grand Prix calendar year. We start the video with some activity levels, simply because of our timeline. We've unlocked one more training point to go towards our development. We are going to go for an engineering perk here. As far as what we actually go for, we're going to go for the research post-mortems, and we will receive 20 more resource points for, I think, is that failed upgrades? I don't know. I think it might be. But yeah, as you can see, we've had to replace the activity for the owner training post-mortem, and as you can see there, we gain 20 more resource points per upgrade. There is the fan rating. We are at middle ground of level 2 because of that win, and we will probably be level 3 or level 4 by the end of the season. Advancing into the timeline, however, we've got a University Talk offer event that's worth 250 resource points. A local university has invited us to speak about what it's like to work in the world of Formula 1. While this could be a fantastic opportunity to inspire future, and we go on and we accept it there. So we are going to go and do a university meeting to talk to students and help them on what it's like to become a Formula 1 team. We have our first actual department upgrade for the upgraded internet. Is it internet or internet? I have no idea, but we do get that facility upgrade onto the car. And speaking of upgrades, this is what we can upgrade as far as the development. We can go pretty much anywhere here. With front wing, we decided to go for the floor stiffening strays, and that will take us 9 days to get onto the car after the Canadian Grand Prix weekend. But yeah, this is the progress history, as you can see, and we're slowly but surely closing the gap towards the bottom half teams. But as we enter the midway point of Season 1, we are outperforming our car by a country mile. You know, we scored points in Australia, we scored in the China sprint race, we won in Monaco, and hopefully we do well. That acceptance result has actually helped us there with our owner experience, and as you can see, there is a confirmation of 106 difficulty, and I'm actually going to, I'd say, reduce the cash rate here because we're on 20 plus million, and that is kind of unrealistic for a small upcoming team. As you can see, 24 million in the bank already with 2,000 resources, and we get another timeline upgrade there, and we're going to go I believe for Blue Sky Thinker to reduce the rate of failures. So that will actually help us quite dramatically when it comes to upgrades failing, like that with the research failing right there. So we have to go back in towards engineering, in towards the research hub. And as you can see there, we've got a durability upgrade in the works. But as you can see, I'm just going through all of the upgrades that we can do. There's none that we can actually apply for the durability. We've got 3 general wear upgrades by Mercedes there. And then the powertrain upgrades, we've got all of them sorted. But yeah, I don't think there's any more that we can do. I believe one more major upgrade and we are ahead of V-Carb and also Kick Sauber. However, Circuit Gilles Villeneuve in Canada for the Canadian Grand Prix, it's a circuit that I really like. And by the way, they haven't got the C6 tyre. Let's do this.
Welcome back, everybody. We're here in Canada at the wonderful Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. Who's going to come out fastest of all in the next hour? Yes, it's time for qualifying.
Oh, Canada. I absolutely love the circuit on F125, and it really feels so good to drive. Our pace in practice has actually been kind of decent. Race pace was solid, qualifying pace was excellent, and even on the simulations for the ERS management and the track climatization, we have a decent car. We are really outperforming the car. And by the way, I need to do a livery update because I've added a couple of sponsors there, changed it around as we lose the back end there, coming out the final chicane, as we come across the line to a 1 minute 11.644, which puts us in 8th place. So we're above Alex Albon, but we're in P13 right now. So we go again for the next lap, and we get a good exit, and we are 2.5 temps up. However, we didn't use the overtake button, so we are now using it. And as you can see now, we are gaining a lot of time, nearly probably 2 thousandths up there. Go a little bit wide on the entry of the chicane. We touched the wall there, but we gain another 4 thousandths of a second. Across line, we go to the 11.2, and that puts us in 11th place as we reach the final 10 seconds of qualifying for our final lap there. Went a little bit wide there in towards turn 1 with a front look up, but the entry of turn 2 we gained literally a tenth on the turn 2. Forget about that corner, forget turn 3. I absolutely cut the shit out of turn 3. However, this corner is probably one of the most important corners of the entire lap. Lose the back end slightly there. I have to correct it on the steering wheel, but I'm just going by field, not by corners, and we are up in the first sector. However, the AI, they are quite strong in Sector 2, trying to nail this corner here on the curb there. The car wants to really step out there, but we gain 2 temps on the exit as we now approach the hairpin, maxing out into 7th gear, breaking up the 100-meter board. I broke too early at the hairpin. I could have taken a little bit more speed there, early shift into 3rd gear for maximum traction, and we are on our way towards now the chicane and the wall of champions, using all of the battery we have left, and we are 4 temps up going in towards this final chicane. We've got to nail this, break at the 100-meter board, down towards 4th gear, take a straight line possible, and we've absolutely gained 2 temps as we come across the line. 2.5 temps. Where's that going to put us? That puts us P6. Excellent job, Franco, mate. Franco, wonderful job. P6 here in Circuit de Gilles Villeneuve. Amazing qualifying there. Again, we are outperforming our car. What a lap. On 106 difficulty as well. We're 7.5 temps away from Verstappen, of course. However, that was a sensational lap. We've out-qualified Lando Norris, Kimi Antonelli, Pierre Gasly, Fernando Alonso, Charles Leclerc in P12. That's a disastrous qualifying. But Callum Voisin, after winning in Monaco, he's pretty much last because Alex Albon did not get a time because he exceeded track limits. But yeah, P6 in Canada. A very strong track for us in the past. And again, it's proven today, even with no line. And I just really love this circuit when you get a lap together, and it's so good when you finally get that lap. However, it doesn't mean anything without the race. Let's do this.
Here in Montreal, lights out is quickly approaching on this artificial island originally built for the World Fair in 1967. Now it's used for a World's Fair of a different kind, ever since Formula One first arrived here. We're back in Montreal for the Canadian Grand Prix. It's one of the fastest races of the season here at the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve, with around 60% of this 2.7-mile circuit taken at full throttle. There are 14 corners to navigate, the very last of which has its very own infamous history and could be the cause of a safety car today. Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks like for today's race. Max Verstappen put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he'll start from pole position. And Lewis Hamilton completes the front row. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Russell, Piastri, Franco Colapinto, and Norris, Antonelli, Gasly, Fernando Alonso, and Charles Leclerc, Behrman, Tsunoda, Esteban Ocon, and Hadjar, Sainz, Lawson, Gabriel Bortoleto, and Nico Hülkenberg, Stroll, Doohan, Voisin, and Alex Albon picks up the last spot on the grid. That's it then, it's time to go racing as we head down trackside for today's race. So I'm sure there'll be plenty to talk about this afternoon, and who's going to talk about it with us? None other than Naomi Schiff. Hi, Naomi. Oh, Canada. Oh, Canada. What a track this is, and what a challenge for the drivers this weekend. Long straights, heavy braking zones, and a very green surface to start with.
This happens to be one of the drivers' favourites. It is a low downforce circuit that is fast and flowing, but it is also demanding on the brakes. And be careful, because let's not forget the wall of champions that catches out so many.
Hopefully we don't find ourselves in the Wall of Champions. I don't know if that'll be a good omen or a bad omen for us in the short term or the long term. The strategy is the default 2-stop between the hards and the mediums, but I'm going to try and do something different. I want to start on the medium tyres and then do medium, hard, medium, so that we can finish the race strong or begin the race as strong as possible. We do have a good car when it comes to the start of the races. As you can see, most of the grid there, they're on mixed tyres. Most of them are on hards. I believe Gasly, Alonso, they're on mediums. We've got Isaac Hadjar, he's also on mediums as well. So very interesting strategies from the AI today. However, that is strategy I'm going to go for, a medium hard, medium. However, if the tyre wear is not that bad, I might just try and do a one-stop. There is setups. I'm going to try and just increase the tyre pressures just a little bit more so that the tyre temperatures can be in control.
The formation lap gets underway then, and it's going to be interesting today to see how the dry conditions could affect the lifespan of the tyres. So as all the cars take their positions on the grid, the teams will be hoping their strategies pay off for them in today's race. But the question I'm asking is which teams have got it right, which ones have got it horribly wrong?
Just a quick reminder to hit the like button as it helps the video out in the algorithm, and subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you never miss an upload of the F125 My Team Career Mode TomGorian to Glory. We are in 5th place actually with that penalty, and we are getting ready to potentially make more history here for round 7 of the F125 My Team Career Mode series in Canada. And here we go, and once again it's another amazing start. We've absolutely mugged off Oscar Piastri and Lewis Hamilton, and also George Russell in towards turn 1. We're already into second after one corner. Insane, absolute insanity here in the Canadian Grand Prix. We went from literally 5th to 2nd in one corner, and that is how amazing the starts are on this game. And I will probably make a video talking about the general state of F125, but it's in a much better state now than what F124 was. But they do need to fix the AI, slightly upgrade their speed, and just make sure that they get good starts, because the amount of starts I've had over them is insane. However, coming in towards the end of lap 2, and we've already broken away from the Ferrari of Lewis Hamilton. Verstappen gets a bit of a time slapper on the exit there of the chicane, as we do a 1:12.9 for fastest lap. What business do we have putting in the fastest lap on lap 2 of a race like this? This is our first season. We should be nowhere near literally the top 10. Never mind fast lap in the top 10 period. And here we are, contending for wins. We've won in Miami. Well, not Miami. We've won in Monaco, and now we are on the verge of winning again here in Canada, as long as we hold on to Verstappen there. Back end wants to slide out a little bit there, and the car is made for straight line speed, simply because the AI are absolutely overpowered in a straight line. And as we come in towards lap 9, Verstappen has absolutely pulled away on the hard tyres. Is now the crossover point, and yeah, the tyres are starting to go away now, as you can see there. I should have maybe put the front brake bias up to 55 sooner here, but now, as you can see, I do that now. I should have done that a lap before, but now Lewis Hamilton is all over us, looking for an overtake for 3rd place. To be honest, I don't know why I didn't fight. Why did I fight Lewis Hamilton that much? I have no idea. But as you can see, there he goes. He flies by in the Ferrari, and we're going to let him go on the end of lap 9. we're not really competing with these guys like properly. We're not trying to fight for world championships against Ferrari and Red Bull. We're just a small team trying to score as many points as we possibly can in our first season in Formula 1, and we're doing a very good job to the point where we might finish 8th or 7th if we're lucky in the Constructors' Championship. So heading in towards lap 11, and we decide to stay out as we absolutely abuse that curb right there. But yeah, the default strategy was to come in on towards lap 10. We've stayed out, lap 11, and we've stayed out an extra lap so that the hard tyres can potentially go all the way. What we're looking at? We're looking at 23 laps on the hard tyres. That's kind of a long way. We don't do ourselves any favours, as well as we get an early stop time, an early turn in there, which forces us to have a 3.5 second stop time. Thankfully, we don't lose any positions there. We retain position to George Russell and also Lando Norris. However, we are going to be coming out behind Carlos Sainz. Is that? Yep, that is Carlos Sainz. Coming out the box now. And also, Behrman is in between Russell and Norris. So that's actually worked out good for us. And now we can use our fresher tyres against the aging, older, hard compound runners of Carlos Sainz, Esteban Ocon, Kimi Antonelli, and the rest of them, man. So around the outside we go of Carlos Sainz back in towards P8. And that's massive. That's massive, simply because Williams, they are running the same engine. Now we've got Yuki Tsunoda down the inside, in towards the hairpin, in towards second gear. You might have noticed that they haven't updated Canada with this game, because there's a lot of things that I've noticed from this racetrack, because the real life Grand Prix happened this past weekend. There's a lot of things that they've gotten wrong, especially with runoff areas and just DRS lines as well. So they need to LiDAR scan Canada for F1 26. However, we get past Pierre Gasly, and now we are all over Kimi Antonelli here. And look how slowly he's going. We're all over his rear diffuser here on lap 17, and we're trying to just keep pace with Antonelli. However, he is holding us off as we go down the inside of the young Italian, and we are now into P5. And yeah, our pace is looking quite good. I've always said this, that the car always does better on the harder compound than the softer compound. You've seen it time and time again in this series. Monaco, the car felt awful on the soft tyres. However, on the mediums and on the hards, we were holding our own. And yeah, this car is absolutely is great to drive right now. And even with a modified default setup, where I'm not really changing much, I'm only changing the brake pressure, tyre pressures, and also slight front wing, and also the differential as well. It's really making a massive difference as we're following Oscar Piastri in towards what is that? That's 10.6, 10.7, and look at the run we're getting here, and we're just using the DRS to drag us along here with Oscar Piastri. So we're making up time on Verstappen and also Hamilton. They've decided to go out, so they're going to go towards lap 21, maybe even lap 22, maybe I don't know, but probably lap 20 with the hard tires, as we now we're going to set up an overtake now on Oscar Piastri, and with the DRS wide open, slipstream, ERS, and there it is. We have now officially overtaken the Australian for P4 in this race. And by the way, the crash, we have to talk about the crash, right? That was simply Lando's fault. Why is he going onto the left-hand side? He is a fucking idiot. Lap 19 now, starting the lap 20, and we've jumped Verstappen and also Leclerc as well. Leclerc and Verstappen there on mediums. And yeah, because we came in on lap 14, was it? We've now gained a multi-lap undercut on Verstappen, and now here we are on the end of lap 20. Hamilton's in the pits, and we're going to jump Lewis Hamilton. However, they will have the tyre advantage in the second half of the race, and that is what happened. And as you can see, Verstappen has closed in on us absolutely insanely, and now he is all over us. I feel like I should have. I don't know, to be fair. I feel justified in trying to fight it against Verstappen because we're fighting for a win, but at the same time, we're not really properly racing these guys, are we? We're just trying to defend our position and race our own race. We should have raced the quickest race possible, and we should have just accepted that these cars, the Red Bulls and the Ferraris and the Mercedes, they're too fast for us. and all we're thinking about is scoring points. However, we want to try and cause a little bit of chaos in this career mode series, and we're going to try and hold up Verstappen, and that is what's happened. Look at the gap now between us and Lewis Hamilton. It's down to 2.4 seconds. So Hamilton is now in contention of winning this race, and again, as Verstappen goes around the outside, we defend the inside line. That's what I don't like about the AI. They always back out of moves around the outside, and hopefully EA can patch the AI where they are more, they commit more to the outside. And as you can see, Verstappen has the inside line. He's going to pass us there, and we get him on the switchback, diving down the inside in towards that corner. And again, and now because we forced him wide, he's now been on the curb. Hamilton is now all over him, and I think Hamilton is going to go down the inside. Look at the bottom right mirror. Hamilton goes around the outside of Max Verstappen out of the hairpin, and Hamilton gets second place. So we've absolutely done our job perfectly there. We've absolutely cost Verstappen, and Hamilton has benefited from this, as well as a massive tank slapper on the exit of turn 7. And now both Verstappen and Hamilton have got us there. There's no way of trying to dive down the inside. They're going side by side. Verstappen takes the lead, but now Hamilton's trying to fight back again. Verstappen retakes Hamilton, and he takes the lead of the Canadian Grand Prix, and Hamilton is now going to outdrag us in towards the hairpin. We just simply don't have the pace and the speed to compete against these cars, and I shouldn't have fought these cars so hardly, because now we're losing time to Charles Leclerc as well. So we're going to use DRS to retain a position against Lewis Hamilton. However, that is literally that. Verstappen and Hamilton are just in a different world, and we've lost DRS, and now our tyres are starting to go off to the point where Charles Leclerc is now all over us on lap 28. However, it is looking good. We are going to score points as long as we don't get a mechanical failure here, as Yuki Tsunoda does a 12.6, we've done a 12.9, so 3 times quicker than our fast lap on the mediums. But yeah, Leclerc tries to go around the outside, he can't do it, and we retain position. But notice as well, Cody's again, they haven't updated the tyres, simply because in the real life race the drivers were using C6 tyres. In this game it's only C5, so hopefully the tyre allocation and the softness of the tyres can be updated for each Grand Prix as the year goes on. Charles Leclerc gets us on the entry into the chicane, and it's P4 for us. However, we are now entering puncture territory on lap 34 or 35. We've got 1.5 laps left of this Canadian Grand Prix, and Oscar Piastri in that rocket ship of a McLaren is all over us. 63% wear on the rear left as we're now going towards the final lap of the race, and Piastri is going to go down the inside in towards the hairpin. He thinks better of it. However, we go a little bit wide there, and because of our worn tyres, he's going to get good traction. Actually, we get better traction, believe it or not. However, he will get DRS, and we have to use all of the battery now to save it. We've saved all the battery. Hamilton wins the Canadian Grand Prix, his first victory for Ferrari. Down the inside we go. We're going to retain position, and we started 6th. We're going to finish in a respectable P4.
And that's the end of the race. We'll see you in Parc Fermé.
And Lewis Hamilton takes the checkered flag and once again wins.
What a wonderful drive to see them come from far down the grid to win the race. Those days are the ones that throw the biggest challenges at you, and to stick out and win it is an incredible job.
From lights out to the checkered flag, each and every driver has this moment in the back of their mind. Now it's time for their celebrations. Our podium, it awaits.
It's still very, very weird to see Lewis Hamilton in Ferrari overalls. I can't lie, I'm not used to that sight yet. I'm not used to him in red. I'm not used to it yet. It's going to take me at least probably a season to get used to Lewis Hamilton in red. But yeah, Hamilton picks up his first victory in Ferrari in Canada with Verstappen and also Leclerc. It's a 1-3 for Ferrari, Verstappen in second. And yeah, Ferrari have announced their presence here in this F1 25 TomGorian to Glory career mode series. And yeah, we've gained P4, 12 points in this championship, and that's a respectable P4. You know, we didn't have the pace to win, of course. You know, this is not like a Monaco where strategy and barriers and you can't really overtake. This is an actual racing circuit, and I'm so glad that the FIA extended the contract to 2035, and we're getting more Canada, boys. I love it. I love this circuit. I love the high speed, low speed nature of it. I just love the racing heritage of Canada around Formula One. You know, the Villeneuve name is legendary. And again, it's been a good track for me. But that is that for episode 7 of the F125 TomGorian to Glory My Team career mode. And yeah, we now head in towards the halfway stage of season number 1 for the British Grand Prix at Silverstone. And yeah, hopefully we can do the British people proudly as well. If you did enjoy this video, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel for more F125 My Team career mode videos as well. On the right will be the playlist. If you've missed some videos, then go and watch them. And on the left will be YouTube's personal video choice. If you smell what the Scouse wants cooking.